Hey guys, Redneck Mini 14 here, coming at you with another knife review. I know I'm kind of on the knife bandwagon right now, but I do have quite a few knives in my collection that I haven't done any videos on, and I kind of, don't have a whole lot of content planned on guns, and so I figured I would show off a lot of my knives that I have that I haven't shown off before. So this one is going to be the SOG Fielder Spring Assist knife that I have. I do have the regular SOG Fielder, which I carried every day for probably 2 or 3 years, and that's a great knife, and it started to get really loose on me, and I was kind of looking for a replacement for it, and I decided I was going to try out the spring assist version of the knife, thinking that it would probably be, just as good or even better than the SOG Fielder non-spring assist knife. And it is a little bit more expensive. I think the SOG Fielder at the time was like $20, and I want to say this was like 30. So it is a little bit more expensive, and to be honest with you guys, I don't really like this knife anywhere near as much as the regular SOG Fielder, so I ended up really not carrying it or using it or anything. It's kind of just stayed in my nightstand, and I guess I could use it in a defensive situation if I really needed to. If somebody broke into the house and for whatever reason I didn't have a gun on me, I could use this, but other than that, it's really just stayed in my nightstand. So let me just show it to you. It's very similar looking to the regular SOG Fielder. It has I think the clip, the belt clip, is actually on the other side on the regular SOG Fielder. Now this is probably because of the spring mechanism, but I kind of prefer the clip on the other side. It does resemble the original SOG Fielder, but there are quite a few differences in it, and those differences kind of turn me off to it. So it is a spring assist knife. However, it is not very easily deployed, and you do have studs on either side, which is good for you lefties out there. So it is ambidextrous, but as you can see, it's very... Is it locked? No, it's not locked. So it's very stiff. It's not like any other spring assist knife that I've dealt with. The other thing... Well, actually, a couple other things. So on the regular SOG Fielder, the lock is a liner lock, so the lock is right here, and then you push it in. I like that better than this, because this kind of a lock, where it's on the back, you actually have to use your other hand to close it. I don't like that. I like being able to manipulate this one-handed, and in order to close this, it requires 2 hands, or at the very least some awkward, well, I mean, you could hold it like this and it's really awkward. You can like hit it against something and then do one of these maneuvers. I've done that before with other knives, but honestly, for a knife like this, a regular like EDC style knife, I want my lock right here, so that way I can easily push it in, flip my knife blade closed. And if I'm having a spring assist knife, I want something that's not super duper stiff. That's a lot. I mean, it shouldn't take that much. And the other thing that is a problem with this knife, as opposed to other knives, is it does not have a little tab here. So like on my my Italian stiletto spring assist, there's a little tab, and that's the only way you can deploy it, because there's not a stud or anything. A lot of your spring assist knives will have both. They'll have a stud here, and then they'll have a little tab here, so you can take your tab and you can flick it open. This does not have that. You're stuck with only the studs. Now, I suppose over time, if you flick it out many times, it'll loosen up a little bit, and then it'll be a little bit easier to deploy. And see, like that time, it didn't even deploy out all the way. So, again, that's a problem. The only other thing worth mentioning on this knife is it does have a lock, and I don't think all spring assist have locks. And this is kind of a weird lock, so it's on the bottom here, and it slides down, and that's locked. It won't open. So it locks closed and it locks open, and then obviously you have to unlock it, man, to deploy it. All in all, do I think this knife is worth the extra, I don't know, $10, $15 over the regular SOG Fielder? No, I don't. I understand that this is a good, spring assist knife, and it's obviously a more complex mechanism than just a regular folding knife, but in my opinion, the regular SOG Fielder is just an all-around better knife. I'll do a comparison of the two later on, but the lock on the back, that's a big turn off. Not having the tab on the bottom of the blade to flick out that way, that's a big turn off compared to some other spring assist knives out there. Obviously, it does still have a belt clip. It does still have the ambidextrous studs, and I do like the option of having a stud for my thumb, but I also like having the other option of the tab down here. And honestly, do I think this lock is necessary? Well, when it's this hard to flick it out, I don't necessarily think so. Now, obviously, over time, it could loosen up and maybe possibly be a lot easier for it to open up in your pocket, and you don't want that to happen. So, I guess I do kind of agree that you might need a lock on your knife to keep it closed and keep it from, springing open in your pocket. But I have never had that to be an issue with a spring assist knife. And on something, like I said, on something like that's this hard to flick open, and see, like there, it didn't even open all the way. So like, it's hard to flick open, and sometimes it doesn't even open all the way. So, I don't know. I don't think that the SOG Fielder spring assist version of this knife is a very good knife, in my opinion. Now, SOG makes some great knives. They make some great tools. I think they make, some tomahawks and hatchets and other things like that. But this knife, I don't really think this is a good knife. I mean, I guess I think it's a good knife. I don't think it's a good one for me. I'll just keep it at that. So, do I recommend this knife? Maybe, if you're into knives like this, like if these features don't bother you, if these are the kind of features that you do like, then sure, go out and buy this knife. But if you're somebody like me, you like the liner lock, you like, the tab on the bottom of the blade to deploy it, you want a knife that's not quite so stiff, maybe go with something else, or at the very least go with the regular version of this knife, which I carried for a long time. I used it to gut some deer. I've used it to do all kinds of things. The regular SOG Fielder, great knife. And like I said, I'll do a comparison of the two, show you the pros and the cons of each of them. And yeah, so anyway, that's the SOG Fielder spring assist knife. It's a decent knife. I mean, it's a good quality knife. It's built really, really well. I just don't really like it. So anyway, that's all for that review. Subscribe to my channel, like me on Facebook. I'm Redneck Mini 14, and until next time, be safe.